Right, here we go. That thumbnail was taken 6 takes, but here we are, it's finally done. I can move on with actually making the video. This is what's on the mind. Now, for all of this stuff being what I put over here, which I assume looks very small on camera, so I'll read it out. Finish quads and hamstrings diagram to move on to learn the upper body and CrossFit moves. I wanted to just progress, learn about muscles, bones and ligaments and stuff as a part of adding on to all of that knowledge that I was building about muscles through learning about like the quads and the hamstrings, which I did in episode 5 if I'm not mistaken. I've been wanting to do this and learning other things in the anatomy and physiology realm, but I'd just be making all of these PT diary videos and I wouldn't be giving myself much of a reward, at least as far as I'm aware, in the same way as I would with going to the gym to do all of my coaching sessions. There's a clear direction and a clear why for why I'm going there and why I'm doing what I'm doing. I'd just be making these videos and then that'd be it. I was going to say that there wouldn't be me applying it. There would be an aspect of where I actually get something out of it, in the sense that I'd be applying what I'm learning. And although I've been understanding that that's more than possible, it could just be that I forgot that I could apply all of this knowledge that I'd be learning, or I didn't quite know how to apply it, or something like that. I really don't know. It's going to be helpful for my job though, working eventually as a coach, which I'm working up to at the moment. So I've been on Google trying to learn more about how do rewards work, meaning how do they increase your want to do X, Y and Z more. So how do they increase motivation basically, or desire to do it. I eventually went up and I went and typed how do rewards increase motivation, because I tried to type up how do rewards work, but then it came up with some business stuff. I've forgotten what. I want to say pension schemes or something like company related business stuff. It was very basically, it absolutely was not what I was looking for. So I had to type it up. I had to try and find out about it using that exact word, and how do rewards increase motivation. And in the community post that I made yesterday, I was doing a lot of thinking. I think I took like 20 minutes to less than half an hour just going on and off writing that post, just about what I had on the mind. There were many thoughts. Came up with I came up with 2 things that I thought I had with going to the gym and working up toward coaching, that I took out of the post itself, and then another extra thing that was unrelated to the key points, what I called them, but that's what I called them. I wrote something else which I thought was worth mentioning that were outside of those key points that I wrote about. Yeah. And the main thing that stuck with me, which I thought about on that day, or yesterday, was this: reward. What can I do? Or no, when I think reward, I think, what can I get out of doing this, learning about anatomy and physiology? I think anatomy is just basically like the bones and the muscles and things like that, but physiology is how all of the bones and the muscles work together, very basically, as far as I'm aware. I might be wrong, but I'm quite sure that that's what it is, very basically. I'd be doing this stuff and I wouldn't give myself a very clear reward for for these efforts or a clear why as to how this can help me on a daily basis. This was before the that intern offer was confirmed that I could get it, and that was before having that part-time job offer that may or may not, depending on how things go, start mid to late March. That's what they've been telling me, but depending on whether they do want to take me on or not, is a different story. Well, depending on whether they want to take me, that's a different story. I don't know, I have to see about that one, but if they do take me on, I'll make a video about it within this PT Diaries series, and if not, I'll say that they haven't, and I'll have to go search elsewhere. I don't know where else I'd go, even though I do have a few other options. I'll try and apply for other CrossFit gyms, I think. I'll try and do that first, because that's where I'd really want to train. And then from there, I would keep on gathering up my coaching experiences and keep on getting that money. Very basically, yeah. It'd be very helpful in terms of social health as well, because I'd be talking to many people about what I'd want to talk about, learning about exercise and other things, just having a fun time both talking about exercise and also unrelated things, just as you do. Those sorts of things to me, talking to people and learning more about how my body works and what's weak, what's strong, what's being overused and unused, which I'll get onto later, is something that I really enjoy. I've found myself saying at least one time, I very vividly remember myself saying this. As I was going to that gym, I said to myself, there's no place I'd rather be. There's no, as I said in the post, there isn't anywhere else where I want to be other than that gym, because I know I really value it. I value being there, doing what I'd be doing. Whether that be any of the classes that they've got going on there, and whether that be in the coaching sessions, the one-to-one coaching sessions that I'm having at the moment, and that I'll carry on having after these 4 sessions that I've spoken about, and then onto the apprenticeship. I really like that sort of stuff. But I need an equivalent of that for all of this learning. From previous research, from looking at it in the past, that's what I was wanting to say. I've heard about 2 types of motivation: intrinsic and extrinsic. What I could do is I could go out my way to allow myself to be intrinsic. I could go out my way to intrinsically motivate myself for all of this effort, meaning I can allow myself to feel happy about learning more as I'm doing it, and wanting to carry on learning more because of that feeling of happiness that I get from all of this learning within the learning sessions. That doesn't have to be the only reward that I can make myself think about, or the only benefit that I can make myself think about when doing this learning, but that's a start. Allowing myself to see, or to prove to myself, that I am more knowledgeable than I once was by doing this, and I am finally going into uncharted territory with my learning, which is something that I've been wanting to do for years. I've been wanting to do this for quite a while now, for maybe over 5 years or so, ever since GCSE times, and I really want to hammer on about this point because I vividly remember me learning for my maths GCSE compared to the other GCSEs. When I was learning for maths back in January 2018 for my maths GCSE, I enjoyed the fact that I was learning more and I was able to further understand what I didn't once understand. I have a snapshot of it in my mind. It was me in the front room on the laptop, no, not the laptop, the monitor back then, and I remember some trigonometry questions with angles. It was a triangle with some angles in it, and I had to find out angles, or maybe like there were two of them, and then there was one angle that I had to somehow find out, and I was starting to get the hang of those sorts of questions, those sorts of trigonometry questions, I don't know. And that was one of, if not the only subject which back then I revised for and felt intrinsic reward. I don't think I knew what that was back then, but I liked all of that learning seeming to pay off, seeming to actually get me somewhere. And back then I had the clear direction of wanting to revise for the GCSEs. What would my clear direction be here? To know more about my body. That would help me a lot with keeping strong and flexible and able, and not overusing certain parts of my body and underusing certain parts of my body. Yeah. Making this video is tiring and really overstimulating, it seems. It's like I'm on the verge of getting a headache making this video. And it makes sense to me as to why I find it difficult to make PT diaries, or it makes sense as to why I'd have so many diary logs that I'd want to make, but I just wouldn't do them because I'd be putting myself in a position where I'd be using the mind so much, and then I wouldn't give myself a reward for it, or at least a clear direction and a clear why, or how I benefit from doing all this stuff. I'll start writing. So, the first idea was intrinsic motivation, which to me means enjoying the fact I knew more than I once did. In something that I want to know about. I want to know about, pardon me, this sort of stuff. Not only for the job, but just for enjoyment. Because I liked being able to progress with calisthenics moves. And all of this learning, I could use it to coincide with that. I'm not sure if that's word for word why I wanted to do it in the past, but at least for now, that's what I get out of it. I'd be able to learn about these sorts of stuff and immediately apply it into the work. So there's actually a result from learning this stuff. I actually get something out of it. And that's just outside of enjoying the fact that I knew what I knew more than I once did with something that in something that I'd want to learn more about, which is just fitness, CrossFit, and calisthenics stuff. yeah. So enjoying the learning process, that'd be my intrinsic motivation. Yeah. Off camera, I did a bit more writing and excuse me, I've been out. I did a bit more writing off camera and I came up with this. Got myself some fresh air, as I said I could do to reward myself. Did a bit of driving on the driveway as well, which was pretty nice, but I got to slow down with that because I've got a few things to do. And I really do want to go out all over driving, but I can't yet. There's a couple things here and there that I need to do before being able to do that. So I thought, you know what, let me just come back. I really like driving for sure. Just getting more comfortable with being behind the wheel and putting my foot on the gas it's nice. And I'm definitely enjoying it. I want to go back. Well, as I was coming back to the room, I was thinking, yeah, I certainly wouldn't mind doing some more driving. But for now, to come back to this, I've decided to put the driving aside for a moment. But yeah, I know I like driving around on the driveway for now. And then I'll eventually keep on going further and further as I get more comfortable behind the wheel. Excuse me. So that certainly works. And then outside of that, I was thinking with all of this learning that I'd be doing, I could try and push it into, I give it its own outlet, or give it many outlets to be channeled through and to be used. And I came up with these. So extra things that I'd be doing every now and then on the side. I put, for example, extra hobbies like bouldering. Bouldering is just inside rock climbing, for those that don't know. Then work/career. It'd just be fun to me, honestly. And then health maintenance. Now, I'm not sure if the camera's catching this, but I put a horizontal line in between the two lines that I put, in between the two vertical lines that I put for both of these outlets. And I did that because I think that they're very much connected, because I believe that my work is very much about health maintenance, as people would, I'd imagine, be coming to me for weight loss tips or tips on how to build more muscle. See, because I'd be the guy that they'd be coming to thinking that they are very educated. And although I can have that knowledge and I can be that guy, there's a far way I've got to go before getting there. Far away. People will be asking me many questions as I'll be coaching people throughout my quote-unquote career, and knowing my stuff is going to allow me to feel a lot more comfortable knowing that I can do what I set out to do and that I won't lose my job or my major sources of income because I don't know what I'm talking about. I won't have to worry about that on the premise that I give myself some sort of loop. So I'd have the action of doing the learning, and then I'd give myself the reward and the why I'd want to carry on doing the learning and keep on going from there. Even if the loop in the future, in my opinion, becomes more developed and there's more to it than what I've just said, then so be it. But for now, I can think about it as that action and reward for that action. Yeah. And then on the side, it'd be gym clubs just for fun, really. And I can feel more comfortable knowing that, knowing which muscles are being worked during these exercise classes, or at least have a more accurate idea than I would have otherwise had. Yeah. And I said other stuff as well, for that you got driving and then going out for a walk, or just chilling outside in the garden. So we've got all this going on and all of these ways that I can reward myself. I think that would be the time to show all of that and make it very clear as to what's actually going on here on the whiteboard. You'll see something up here in the top right hand corner. That was from a long while ago, just like how the lower body class writing was from a long while ago too, but I'll show it now. Right, here you go. Here's all the stuff. As I was saying, there's a note here. That was from a while ago, and so was this. So I must have, now that I think about it and I've seen this again, it could have been that I actually was in fact trying to give myself some reward without knowing it. I wasn't thinking of it as reward word for word back then, but I was trying to just do something, try and make something work. So actually this whole video might have been misinformation, in the sense where I said I might not have thought about reward when I did, but just not word for word. So if that is the case, apologies for that, and I retract my statements I've made if that is the case. Yeah, but here you go. That blue dot there is just to show that I wanted to start there after all of that writing that I did off camera. But that's it, that's the end of the video. I'm gonna get on with doing something else now, give myself some reward, for making this video, and I'll upload this and the daily exercise log, which I'm yet to do and I haven't made whatsoever, because I've been making this one, and then I'll go from there. But for now, that's it. Cheers to making a PT diary for once in, it's been a few days, and I will see you in the next one, maybe today or later on, because my throat's feeling a bit sore, so I might give it a rest for today. But yeah, this is it. At least I've started making the videos again, and cheers to making more of them consistently. Peace. Maybe I'll do them every day or so. Yeah. I just had this idea to put down the final slide in the form of a picture, and I might do this from now on with all of the other sessions. That way you can see all of the final notes very quickly at the end. I just decided to just take a picture and finish the session like that, but not with those reasons in mind. It was just something that I just came up with, and with not really any thought as to why I'd do it, but I think it'd be pretty useful to do from now on. That way I can just very easily just go to a clear image of my thoughts on the matter. But yeah, that's it for now. I'm done, and see you in the next one. Peace. Cheers to putting more of these videos out and learning how to reward myself and doing what I truthfully want to do with my life. Yeah. Right, anyway, I'm gone now. Bye.